So now I'm just going to read out for all the viewers everything that you've done in 4 years. You've done 2 internships. You've written 3 papers. You have 3 certifications. You've done 4 projects, plus a bunch of other extracurriculars that are not listed here. You did all of this while studying for the GRE and writing applications for 8 universities, and still you didn't allow your academics to slip, and you got 8 admits with 2 scholarships.
Yeah.
How did you manage all this? Because it's a lot of work that you've done. Hi viewers, today we have with us Tej More. So Tej has completed his undergraduate degree in AI and data science, and he applied to 11 universities to the US for data science, his master's in data science, and he secured 8 admits with 2 scholarships. So we're going to understand in today's podcast how he secured 8 admits out of 11 universities and how he secured those 2 scholarships. We'll also understand about his journey and how he convinced his mother that he wishes to study abroad. So welcome Tej, 8 admits, that's crazy. How does it feel?
Thank you for the warm welcome, sir. I really feel pleasure to have this session over here with you. It really feels nice, and it is indeed a pleasure to have 8 admits. It was a tedious process, but it was worth the wait. That's it.
So, I'm going to now start with the obvious question, which I'm sure is on every viewer's mind. People are worried to get even 1 admit. Here you're sitting with 8 admits. Alright? So I just want you to briefly describe to everyone what your profile is. Like, how many projects did you do? How many internships? How many certifications? All of those details.
So I have an undergraduate degree in AI and data science. I started my first year with the same chaos that we had in our college. It includes engineering maths 1, 2. Then we have basic electrical engineering and engineering mechanics, engineering drawings. So that is the basic level for everything. After that, when I went into my branch, I discovered a lot of new things. So it was with respect to data science as a short introduction. So I had to learn Python. I had to learn database management systems, operating systems. So I understood the system, how does it work, when does it work, and when to use. So that things were there to figure out. As a data science enthusiast, I figured out my own strengths, and I found that research is my only strength that exists. Rather than being a hard coder, I didn't have to sip coffees and just code all night long. I built my first project, which was a blockchain project. It was on a Web3 platform, but I didn't find it quite fascinating. So what I decided to do is, finance used to fascinate me more. Money, really, everybody wants money. So what can we do is, we can create something that really benefits us. So everything was in boom, like ChatGPT used transformer architectures, everything like that. I decided to read a paper on it. I decided to go from scratch. Like, in predictive modeling, transformers is not the only thing. So I went to the scratch. I went too deep. I started with Sarima models. I climbed up to LSTMs. LSTMs had 95% accuracy in the implementation. I tried to achieve 99% with my transformers and my research skills. That helped me a lot. I took the guidance of my teachers, and also I took an insight of the market from my stock exchange boards or certain forex trading boards. I used to monitor them regularly, and as a passion, I used to trade a lot, like not with much capital income, but with certain small amounts. And there is a gut feeling and there is a brain. So I had to connect it both to get profits in my hand. So instead of risky trading, I decided कि यार आज एक दिन loss हुआ, कल एक दिन profit हुआ. So I decided to go into liquid assets, that was gold. So gold is traded in like the US market as well, digitally. So I decided this seems fascinating and this seems safe. If you have to convince any millennial parent that your model is going to work, it would help me a lot. If in the United States there is a millennial boss, he's very bossy kind of thing, I can just show him, sir, see, this is a safe thing. And when he hears the term safe, he'll definitely look into it because there is nothing 100% safe, but they have the assurity inside. So I worked on that emotional sentiment as well. Apart from that, I made a procrastinating model on bond markets. So bonds are usually traded more in the United States and as well as in India. In India, some of the bonds like HDFC and bank holdings are present a lot. So I decided to work on it because I have achieved a predictive modeling. But what to do if I want to achieve a real time simulation?
Correct.
I need to work on it as well. So I decided to choose an approach. So it was very hard for me because after achieving a 99% accuracy, I was expecting more from myself to be more robust. I took the help of my professor once again. He showed me the path. He told me, he just try it and see what happens. I'll be there for guidance. He didn't help me with the cake itself. Like, take this cake and you're done with your project. So I had to work a year long on my project. But I saved 6 months because I already had made my projects
Got it.
earlier.
Got it.
So I tried to work on it and I achieved my desired results. I made my black book. It helped me in my submissions as well. And the major thing with my co-author as well. She helped me a lot, as well as the two co-authors that were my professors. They helped me a lot to achieve these things. So it was indeed an interesting journey. And for every viewer, I would just like to state that you have these many things in hand. Just decide what fascinates you the best and explore yourself much better than just saying कि क्या होगा मेरा, engineering में placement ही नहीं हो रही. First, focus on the skill and try to pitch yourself in the market as if you are going to sell yourself. You must have that quality to embed in yourself that you have something to achieve, you have something to obtain in life apart from money. If money doesn't exist, if there is just a competition race for brilliance, where do you stand? But money also matters. So that brilliance, how can it help you to achieve sustainable amount of money? That really matters in today's world. That is what I think, sir.
So, what I'm understanding from you is that you started early
Yeah.
to identify what area you're interested in. Turns out
Yes.
that you're interested in finance. And then you found a way to use whatever you have in your AIDS program and apply that to finance.
Yes.
Which is why a lot of your products or projects are related to finance or fintech in general. And that is actually where I want to go next, because I remember when we were discussing about your future plans around a year and a half back, that time you were in a dilemma. So you were not sure whether you want to go for a master's in finance because of your love for finance,
Yeah.
or whether to get into a technical field because now you've already, done an undergrad in a technical field. Initially you were leaning towards a master's in finance, but here you are sitting with admits for data science.
Yeah.
So can you just guide the viewers as to how you made that decision? Because it could not have been easy.
Yes. So when I found out that in today's world, where does finance stand? We have so many degrees, so many opportunities. But to really stand out, you need to be the best. You need to be a polished grain. You don't even have the tendency to break at once in terms of finance. The major thing is fast decision making. I understood that I take time to make decisions, but I observe the environment space and then act accordingly. So that dilemma, when I talked to you as well, so you were my mentor at that time and you gave me the opportunities. You gave me the brief insights with regards to your experience, as well as I researched it on the net itself. So I found out many things. I just didn't read the news in itself because, there is a lot of rumor thing, especially in terms of
A lot of bias in the news.
yeah, lots of bias in the news. So when you told me, Kitej, you just need some time, figure it out. So you calmed me down first there. So I had the thing that a person with experience is telling me to calm down and take a decision. So I'm relieved. So I searched for finance as well as data science. What would benefit me was the question. So for the viewers, I'd like to suggest them that I used a 5 why theory, which is commonly mentioned in most of the books, and the Chinese use it for building projects or even for real-time problems. It's not just related to one community itself. It's for every human being on earth. So if I ask myself a question, why finance? So I would ask myself, why finance? So I said, I love money. So why do you love money? The second why. I said, because it is an essential thing.
Correct.
And it feels luxurious.
Correct.
So why does it feel luxurious? Because luxury gives me a satisfaction. Money gives me a satisfaction, a sense of security. So why does it give a sense of security? Okay, so there I was like, the same moment I took a pause. Then I said, it's defined so. So why is it defined so? Because the world works on money. So the fifth why had my answer to all my questions. So the world works on money. So this, I put it aside as a tip or as a answer to my question regarding finance.
What is called the 5 why theory?
Yeah,
Is
five
that,
why.
is the Chinese technique you're saying?
Yeah.
So you just keep asking a cascading set of
Yeah.
whys till you reach the base truth or the base reality.
Yeah, base reality. It's because our brain is in a dilemma. So as I said, first you need to calm yourself down. Second, I use this theory, a technique, and most of people have other ways to deal with it. Like I'm not a frequent book reader. I'm a fast reader, so I just read certain pages. But being a researcher over the time has put me to go into deep research work. So I've built that habit itself. So in terms of data science, I figured out in the same way. So I summarized it. I got an answer that I really like it from the bottom of my heart. It's really interesting. I like to deep dive into it. It's like scuba diving for me. I can see the beautiful bed of the ocean in terms of data science. So I mixed it. I got this answer and this answer. I clubbed it, and then I thought, like in terms of career aspect, Amir sir told me this. What can I do next? So I figured out I should go for data science. Computer science exists. The core computer fundamentals do exist. I need to learn them by hook or crook. But my masters should be in this field itself.
And you would like to keep applying that to the field of finance.
Yes. So it's not a direct thing. Like, I'm not a finance person, but indirectly, I'm building a technology for finance itself.
Right.
There exists a lot, but I would like to be a contributor to the same thing itself.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you have a high GPA. You've done a lot of projects. You've easily gotten a job in India. Plus, you come from a single parent household.
Yes.
And it costs a lot of money to study abroad.
Yes.
How did you convince your mother to basically allow you to go and study abroad? Because she has to stay away from you for 2 years.
Yeah.
You have to arrange the finances for it. So just how did you do that? Because I'm sure there are many kids in that situation.
Yes. My mother is a very education aslats paije kind of mother. She emphasizes more on education and white collar jobs because in my family, most of the people have been into tech, but it's not a hierarchy thing. I was built different. And when my mother used to see me, she was like, do you really study? Or, you are very chill all the time. I tried to convince her in a way such that, mom, if you put me anywhere in the world, I'll guarantee you that the terms of success rate, the exponential growth after my 100 efforts will be 10%. Do you understand that? So she was in a thought. I said, if I go into a field of my interest, it would be more than 100%. And I need to just put in 10 to 20% effort at certain cases. So she was thinking about it. She said, "Ki तुला जे वाटतंय ते तू करतोयस पण are you confident? Will you achieve certain results?" Because it's just like charity begins at home, and I used to learn a lot of lessons from her. She used to train me for the outside world. The outside world is very cruel, and you don't have a backup. So how will you arrange funds? So I left the funds and other part to my destiny. Really, like I said, I'll just put in the effort. Rest is up to my luck and up to God.
Basically, just control the controller.
Yeah. Just let it happen. If I'm going to be there, I had to just be optimistic in regards of that. And convincing my mom was not a big problem because it was a Maharaja Mac burger in terms of a double patty because I already had to study, and she was like, "You have to study," and I said, "I will study in the field I love." So it was like a cherry on top kind of thing.
So basically, two things. One is that you were able to tell her that if you allow me to do what I like to do, chances
Yes.
of my being successful is higher
Yes.
than rather if I'm forced to do something that I don't do. And second, I think credit goes to her for having faith in you and having confidence
Yes.
in you.
She was scared a lot of times. It's a tendency of every parent in our households that they are scared. The fathers are more like you just try kind of thing. The mothers are like, "Arey bapre, will you?"
They always want to protect their
Yeah, they always want to pamper, and they are really concerned. And I understood her point of view, and it was a big stake. It's just like I believe that life is a gamble, but if you have the techniques to deal with it, it's not a gamble. You can figure out ways yourself.
So now I'm just going to read out for all the viewers everything
Yes.
that you've done in 4 years. You've done 2 internships. You've
Yes.
written 3 papers. You have 3 certifications.
Yes.
You've done 4 projects, plus a bunch of other extracurriculars that are not listed here. You did all of this while studying for the GRE and writing applications for 8 universities, and
Yes.
still you didn't allow your academics to slip, and you got 8 admits with 2 scholarships.
Yeah.
How did you manage all this? Because it's a lot of work that you've done.
So I'd just like to tell a story over here. In that case, it's from my 10th grade itself. I used to like to be a multitasker every time. So it was hard for me in the initial phases because of a single parent childhood to build a bond amongst people. But that con turned into a pro very quickly. I had a lot of friends, a lot of social network around me during my school days. And, I had some people who were dumb as well, and some people who were very smart. I can say extra smart as well. So I was into an observable space and I used to learn from both of them. So that helped me with multitasking in terms of thinking. So I was lacking implementation. So, we don't have that realization as a kid, to have these things. I used to study and I never muggified anything in my entire life. In today itself, if I was good at writing or good at muggifying, I would really have a very much higher GPA than my co-authors itself. But I like to write things in a story way or in a way that my heart or my brain feels like. I like to put it as a projector and express it to my viewers. I managed it with my extracurricular skills. I am a very football passionate person, and on the field, of the field, I've been very courageous. As my idol, Cristiano Ronaldo itself, I idolized him and saw how much effort does it take to be the best. I instilled it in myself, and I never thought of the outcome. I always thought, what would it be if I don't put in the effort? What if I don't put in the effort?
So then things will be much worse.
Yes, that would put me in a more emotional state of trauma rather than the stress, rather than the 1 or 2 hour lack of sleep that I'll barely have.
But speaking of that stress
Yeah.
part, it's very natural, when you're doing so many things
Yes.
that your brain is constantly, you have to context switch between one task to another. And those pending deadlines of projects, certifications,
Yes.
applications playing on your mind. And I've interacted with you almost weekly for the last 1 year. Never I felt that you were stressed. It always seemed that you were in control. So how did you manage that stress part of it? Like, okay, chalo, you are very hardworking and fine, but how did you deal with that stress?
Most of people procrastinate things. I also used to do it. I was also a victim of procrastination and overthinking itself during the COVID period itself. I read certain books on human psychology. I read certain and I used to scroll Instagram a lot. So I used to channelize myself into that way that I used to follow certain pages with a certain mindset that matched mine. So if I like Cristiano Ronaldo, I had a certain sport page that used to post about every athlete with that mindset. And I used to instill it in Delhi. Tej, you have to work. Just do it. Like we have taglines from brands, Nike.
Right.
We observe, we just read it, but we don't think about it. So I said, rather than overthinking, Mera kya hoga, I would utilize my energy, just do it. Heck you. How does it signify? So I need to signify myself somewhere. So the first part is just do it. Signify myself in my work. Anything. It could be drinking coffee. So, I wouldn't be scrolling my phone while drinking coffee. So we are having a chat right here. I'm completely focused on this chat. I'm not thinking about, मेरे घर पे क्या हो रहा है.
So you have to
Yeah.
cultivate the habit to be present in the moment, basically.
At the moment. And everything in life, it's like no matter how much you're prepared, it's doing the right thing at the right time. And that comes with practice, intense decision making. It can be fast or it can be slow. Like in my terms, it was slow, but I always considered it to be on time. So be on time rather than being too early or being too late. That's the thing I would like to suggest to our viewers. And in terms of our career aspect, in terms of university, shortlistings, etc., just try to identify your strengths first.
Speaking of that
Yeah.
shortlisting part now, there are 4,000 universities in the United States. How do you shortlist the 11 universities that you applied?
So there are a lot of people who have contributed in the process. You, as well as Siddhi ma'am, as well as my friends and me. And the collaborative of this, the mixture of this, it's like a cocktail kind of thing. You were good at everything. You had the idea, you had the experience. I talked to
Giving
you.
me too much credit. I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned from you a lot of things, and I really wish that the person I wanted to be somewhere exists in you at that time. At that time when you had studied in the United States, Siddhi ma'am was my counselor. She used to, she had the knowledge regarding universities. So my work was like, Tej, if you want to shortlist fast and you have to work on it, you need to meet the right person at the right time and ask him the right questions. So first of all, I didn't know like if I asked Siddhi ma'am about ki ma'am, what should I do in terms of preparation? So she would tell me do this, and contact this person. So if she told me contact Tamya sir or contact my professor who taught me like Amrita ma'am at the GRE section, verbal section. So I used to book or schedule a meeting with you guys. So I had to wait. So I had the patience at that moment to wait for my questions to be answered. Most of people just try to do कि आज मैंने एक schedule बना दिया मेरे को सोने के पहले यही करना है. But that doesn't really work out in real life. You have to wait. How much you plan, it's not like that कि आज मैंने shortlisting plan किया and मेरे को Stanford, Harvard या जो भी university है, it's like I got it.
So that means that you spoke to a bunch of people,
Yes.
took different diverse views, took your time to go through everything, process the information, maybe talk to people at the university,
Yes.
and then you came up with the final decision of which are the universities to apply to.
Yes. Also, talking about universities, I didn't have a dream university in mind.
Got it.
I had the passion and the dream to go to Georgia Tech. But does my profile matches, my everything matches. But do my financial situation and is the load worth the amount I'm spending?
Right.
It's definitely spending.
So that way I recall in shortlisting,
Yeah.
you were very practical. Like generally
Yes.
students have this demand that no, I will go here only, I'll go there only.
Yes.
You were very clear that I want to go to the best possible university where the ROI is going to be high.
Yes.
That was your main thing.
Even if you ask me the question in such a way that if I didn't have this financial constraint over me, I had loads of money to be spent on my education, I would still be that much constrained in terms of the loan I'm taking or the university I'm planning to go.
Correct.
Because if I'm doing it by heart, everything needs to be by heart. And most of people use their brains, but they forget to use their hearts at certain point. I use my brains a lot, but brain doesn't have the sentiment to guide you because, I like this university. There your heart is used. But does it really value you? It's the heart first and the brain first in terms of listings. So first figure out it yourself. And if you have a brain fog in that terms, you can definitely ask people like, you are there. And in other people's life, there are certain, particularly father figures or the godfather, I can call it as. Like it can be your father, it can be your mother, it can be one of your relatives who is at a certain post and he's guiding you. Just interact with them a lot.
Got it.
Try to understand what they're telling and with respect to what they're saying.
Got it.
We obviously, like with my mother, I always have this bias issue in terms of her thinking. I never said. So when she used to get angry, I used to tell her, Mom, I'm not denying your fact. So I used to calm her down. I'm just telling you that the situation you are telling, it's good as a rule and regulation. But the thing that I'm facing now, would it help me in that situation? No. It might help me in the future at a certain point of time. You're definitely right. But in the current situation, would it be? So she was like, yeah, you're right. So we have to convince our parents in such a way that, mother or father, whatever we call mom, dad, I feel like this. My heart tells me to follow this path. But if you want to guide me in a certain way, just tell me these things. I'll definitely work on it. So be open to every opportunity that you have, every person you have, and never keep an ego or never be overconfident about your marks, your achievements, or anything, because there is always a bigger shark in terms of that. You might find the Cristiano Ronaldo of that field in near time, and he will outbeat you and he'll really thrash you with your mindset. So just be prepared for everything.
Correct.
It's like, we have this social thing in Generation Z, especially. People like to overthink a lot.
Right.
People take actions without thinking and they just think, yaar, ये रील में ऐसा होता है, ये मेरे साथ भी हो. But they forget to take actions. And the people who I've met, who have taken actions, they overthink a lot and they don't sleep. I've seen people who have got anxious, they have no social life. So, being to the part that the thing that I learned in my childhood to socialize a lot, I never had the exposure because most of the people that I have met who have achieved a lot of social network, who are, the big charms of the school, they have Mr. Fascinating or something like that at farewells, they have their family culture inherited in that because, most of the Gujarati families, Marwadi families, they have a lot of social exposure. They are not constrained. They talk a lot. They understand emotions better. They try to convince better. So being in India, being in a multi-diverse environment, I learned a lot from variety of people. So we can't, really argue over any point that, this guy did this to me and stick to that.
So Tej, you got 8 admits, and all were good universities that year.
Yes.
How did you finalize RIT? Like, what were the parameters and what was the process?
Out of the 8 admits I received, I used to think about every university day and night, and it was really hard for me. Like I can't sleep at night taking a decision that is really going to matter. So I tried to ask my mentors. Tried to ask some of the peers. I tried to build my network through LinkedIn, and I used to monitor. And I used to get diversified feedbacks from every person. And it was just like if you go in Mumbai and ask कुठला वडापाव सगळ्यात चांगला आहे, so you get अरे दादरचा हा चांगला आहे, मालाडचा हा चांगला आहे. And
Too many opinions.
yes, too many opinions. But what fascinates your taste buds?
Right.
What is good for तुम्हाला गॅस कशाने नाही होणार?
Right.
That kind of thing.
So practically
So-
also and
Yeah, practically and yeah.
That's what
So I like to take things casually in certain ways. So I gave examples in such a way. So most of people used to consider me vague, though the researchers that I've met, Ari, how can you give examples? And they used to laugh. Like they used to find it funny, but they said, if you say it in a conference meeting, it's going to be late. So I said, unke liye premium example. The thing doesn't change.
Right.
It's just like what you present to them. If you give Cali's Bay to me, if you gave Colorado Boulder, and if you give Rochester and Stevens on a plate, I said, "Arey wah, aaj to daawat hai." So I'll definitely like to have all of it, but practically that's not possible. I took a decision after a certain analysis of my profile. So, in terms of finance, first I would like to specify that it was really tedious for me to take a decision because of my constraints, and I had to think about which bank will accept my offer. That was my thing. So I said, I have to keep collateral, I have to keep non-collateral. So I have decided to not be a burden on my mother. So it was just after I completed my school. So she was saying ki अरे तू स्वतःला लॉर्ड फॉकलँड समजतोस का? That is a dialogue. So I used to laugh. But she understood that I was willing to take responsibility. But as a mother, she told ki, Tej, this is not the time. You just think practically and financially. So you do your best part, I'll do my best part, and we'll figure it out. So I said, Mom, see, you told me this universities you need on a platter. I brought it. And I didn't do it because my mother liked it. She was never into it. She said, Ki, you do what you like. Tula abhyas karaycha hai. You see what you like. You see what you want to study. Because I'm just there for the sake of guidance. That she specified. And she reminded me every time I was in a dilemma. Ki तुझ्यावर जबाबदारी है. You figure it out yourself. So, bulta, like if I'm too casual at certain point, I used to remember her words at that time. I said Rochester Institute of Technology is my personal favorite because of its lab facilities. They work on semi-structured data. And that's really the experience I need to have.
Okay.
In terms of Cal State East Bay, it's good in terms of its opportunities, its diversified work culture and educational culture. It's very simple and sober and competitive as well. I didn't want a mental pressure on me. I wanted a good environment. I wanted ice. Definitely, I want to go to the United States. I want snow around me. I want to experience that as well. So that was the bottom of my bucket list. The top of it was the lab facility. I already had a research work in myself. I want practicality with my research because that practicality would help me create a solid blend in my career.
Right.
So I have money, where to put it, and what are the returns, what every parent and every student thinks of. So this is what we think of, right? Every student needs to tell their parent, as per my point of view, ki what their real strength exists in that particular field. If you're going for computer science, do you really have the core knowledge of it? Because I have seen my friends who have done BSc, they don't even have a master's degree and they're super at it. And no guy can beat them if we compare degree wise. So do you really have the skill to outstand with the perk of having a degree? Think about that. Rochester had a good data science program as well. They had strong insights and they had a strong team to teach, and they used to focus on more real time problems. I stated these things as well as in my SOP as well. I'd like to comment on a later part. But in terms of shortlisting at Colorado Boulder, and I flipped a coin. I got Rochester Institute of Technology in my flipping a coin process. So my luck and my coin matched my decision. In terms of Colorado Boulder, it was a bit far for me in terms of the US map consideration.
Also, it's not close
Yeah.
to New York, right? I mean, Rochester
Yes,
is close to New York, and you want to get into finance, so
Yes.
that probably also played a role.
That fascinated me a lot. And the streets of New York are the real time best streets to learn in finance. I think so, and I've read a lot of books. The people who come on Forbes are casually roaming around there.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of knowledge to gain even through a cup of coffee. That's what I thought about.
Got it.
I don't have to put in extra hours to find a network.
Got it. Got it.
So I
So, if I
Yeah.
understand correctly, what you're saying is, first of all, RIT had a very good program.
yes.
Secondly, it had the facilities to support the kind of projects you want to do when you
Yes.
talk about the lab. Third thing is that the academic environment was more in line with what you wanted. Like you were saying, at CSU, it's like cutthroat competition and you can't thrive in that sort of thing. RIT was better. And lastly was the location. The fact that it is close to New York and it is located in the north, you wanted to experience the snow.
Yes.
So I think, so these were the four factors.
Yes.
And then interestingly, you did a gut check by flipping a coin and
Yes.
luck also supported you that. So this was the main reason why you went to R&D.
Yeah.
Now tell me that there are many stages in the application process. Choosing the program, choosing the country, university, SOP,
Yes,
or
yes.
resume, everything. Which part of the process felt the most tricky to you and how did you handle that part?
The trickiest part is there was a hard part and there was a tricky part. First, I went through the hard part without knowing I have to face a tricky part in the future itself. So that was the GRE process. TOEFL is much easier, or IELTS is much easier after you give the GRE. And I'd like to recommend, even if people don't have the university as a GRE requirement, they should definitely opt it. And I would like to credit Amrita ma'am a lot in this process because
Your verbal faculty.
yeah, the verbal faculty that I had, the kind of professionalism she holds, the kind of discipline she holds, molding into it was the first step that helped me a lot.
Okay.
And she was very casual, and we used to share a lot of funny moments. She was explaining in class, and I would definitely love to pass a comment or a joke, and it would seem pretty in our Indian education system. It seemed to be rude, and teacher used to punish us in school. So I said I should stop, but I had the guts to pass a comment. Then she thought for a while, she laughed, but she explained the whole class on the concept of the verbal essay writing on my comment.
Got it. So she
That
used your
was-
comment to explain a concept in class.
Yeah, a trending comment. I don't remember it exactly. It was just like, a clothing trend or something like that, and that we see on reels every day.
Right.
So that time pass got converted into a quality time
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
It barely took 20 minutes for her to explain the concept. With that 10 second of thing, I learned it from her. And as a guru, she was there for me every time. So she there was a schedule mismatch. So as to really plead her like my friend, like please Amrita, guide me. I know you don't have this time slot available. So can you please, I just need 10 minutes of yours. So while waiting for the taxi near the Vidyalankan house, we used to have a chat. And I used to ask her, ma'am, would you like to have something? So firstly, she would say no, but then she would say, this is good as a sophisticated way to attract women in future. So you can definitely try it. So I used to give her a coffee or a chocolate. And after that, it was like tricky part. I got my GRE score, and I used to think, yeah, I had given my best. So where did I lag in terms of marks? Thank you. So I had this thing with when you have a background check with your marks, I used to lie between 80 to 90% of range in terms of percentage. So I knew I was never going to be a topper. But my mom was very instilled. You have to be at the top. You have to be. I was tired of explaining her. You just need specific skills to flourish in the industry. Yeah. So she was upset and she said, Ki kai yaar Tej, now how hard it is going to be. She didn't believe that I'm going to get 8 admits at all. She said, तुला 3 मिळाले तरी मी देवा समोर नारळ फोडेन kind of thing. मी बोललो, I'll see ना TOEFL बाकी आहे and there is a lot of things to do. So I contacted Siddhi ma'am. So Siddhi ma'am gave me a bit of moral support. I was relaxed. I was in the same mood that I'm in right now. Marks didn't affect me at all. So I said, let's go with the shortlisting process at first. I gave my TOEFL and Siddhi ma'am stated me the deadlines. So I had to prepare for my LORs and my SOPs at that moment of time. SOPs, the statement of purpose, is going to be as it is. It's very simple. So what we get is, the process that we get examples to just refer to. I asked Siddhi ma'am about this same. So we had a student who went to Stanford and I got his SOP. So I didn't find anything fascinating in it. Right. And people would, call me a fool for saying so. And I said, I really didn't find it fascinating. All respects to the effort he made to make that SOP and all respects to his career and every respect. Like, I don't want to hurt any sentiment of Stanford, aspirants or as of such, but I really didn't find it fascinating. So I decided to craft it in a way that I've been through my life. What fascinated me to get into a computer, basically. I started with that point. Siddhi ma'am told me ki Tej, deadlines are going to be close soon, so you have to submit fast. So I said, Siddhi ma'am, just believe in me. I know it's your first time to deal with a student like me, but I take time for decisions. I take time to craft it, but I'll not disappoint you with my work. So she said, okay. She gave me a week to go forward with my SOPs. So I stated in my SOP my childhood journey, how I was fascinated by a computer. So as a boys thing, I used to play GTA Vice City. That was my favorite game. Till date, it is my favorite game. And that fascinated me to get in a computer. I used the right words because Amrita ma'am had taught me vocabulary. Right. Okay. Right. I knew which words to use. Very much. So I used words such as bolstered and etc. to, make it to a conclusion. But I kept it simple, not just high vocab that would fascinate people because most of people use high vocab in their SOPs. That's really not required. The emotion should be portrayed. Like I thought when a person will read my SOP, any professor, he should really feel that I'm sitting like this in front of you. He should feel that Tej is really here and talking to me, telling him that how does he have his experience, his story. It should be short and sweet. I stated that I didn't know as a second standard kid, cheat codes don't work when the computer is turned off or shut down. I should type on the keyboard like a dumb child. So after that in fourth standard, I used to know that mom used to fool me. She said, "Chalu hai," and you type the cheat code, it will activate after 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, she used to log into the computer to do her work, and I thought my cheat code worked. So now we call it as a script to run programs. So that was the upgradation. So that thought is instilled in us since childhood. We just don't observe it closely. So I got into data science and I stated the same things that I mentioned before. The finance thing, my projects. How did faculty instill me? I stated a favorite researcher of mine in the SOP. I kept it short because putting so many things and fitting it into a short space is quite hard. I did it with the help of some AI tools as well. I use just ChatGPT to give me references because if you ask AI anything, you have to plagiarize the SOP, else you'll get rejected. Most of people use AI make the get the content, but the AI doesn't know the things that you know.
Correct.
So I just told him ki put my resume in this SOP in such words that I can directly copy paste it. I'll just plagiarize it. But the rest of the remaining 70 to 80% part, I had to write it down, I had to think about it, and then type it
Got it.
with
So,
the help of words.
so if I'm hearing you correctly, there were two difficult parts for you. One of
Yes.
them was hard in the sense of scoring for the
Yes.
GRE. That's where Amrita ma'am helped you. And then after that was the tricky part in terms of writing the SOP.
Yes.
And for that, your strategy was first of all slow down and reflect. So
Yes.
tell your counselor, give me time. I need time to do a good job. Then reflect upon your entire journey, why you got interested in computers. Write your own story, and in some small key areas, use ChatGPT to get those insights and reword it in your own phrases, and then write the SOP. So like, don't use ChatGPT to write the entire SOP because then it'll just be plagiarized and
Yes.
you're gonna get rejects. So this is what I understand in terms of the difficult and the tricky part. Got it. Now, any last words of advice you have for students who are planning their masters next year or the year after that? Like, what would you advise them?
So from the insights that I've given before, most of the people know what do I have to state and what is my conclusion. I'll just put it short in some words. Believe in yourself. Like, just believe what you do. If you really think it's not worth going, don't go. Because rather than suffering after 2 years, it would better be take a pause, take some time, take a breather, not a break. People take breaks. Take a breather in term of career. It can be 2 to 3 weeks. Go on a vacation. Eat what you like, do what you like. Let your routine be messed up. Sleep at whatever time you like, wake up at whatever time you like, according to your comfort. Pamperize yourself for a certain time. Tell your parents you need time for yourself because this process has been chaotic. I used to handle my stress with playing football and never imagined myself to be this successful. Like, it's just 10% of what I really imagine. And I would never be expecting any of the kids in future to be handling the stress that I went through or through the overthinking that I went through. You just need to figure it out. You just need the right people. Sometimes you just don't need practicality. You need an emotional sentiment, someone to understand you, the process. You need guidance in a semi formal way, kind of thing, a semi practical way, I can say. You can just work on projects that are really fascinating, that really work to you. But just figure out in terms of project that will this project really be helpful? If there is a person with money, would you really be able to pitch to him that your project or product will be sold to him, at least in an initial stage as a service? Just think about it. In terms of the GRE and every process that you're going to face in the future, just think about it as your counselors say, as Amir sir will guide you. Just talk to them a lot because Amir sir has been my good friend rather than a sir himself in terms of this aspect. And you should learn to idolize certain facts or certain characteristics about people amongst the people that you meet. You may not like your counselor certain 2 or 3 points. You may not like the shortlisting process. They might not meet your requirements. So you need to match the emotional sentiment. You need to explain to them what you really need because they are also humans. They are not AI. They'll not just give you brief insights within certain period of time. And for the shortlisting process, don't just go on the facts that AI provides you or Google provides you, the ratings that they provide. Go on your personal preferences.
Got it.
And in terms of finance, as Admit Abroad has a lot of sponsors, you can figure it out yourself on the journey ahead. But just look carefully in detail for every aspect you go and never hesitate. If you have a thought, many people procrastinate it. As I said, be optimistic. Never think that a glass is half empty. Never ever think that because just treat yourself as a champion every day. Just instill that, the day was bad. It was really bad. You can end it on a good note by listening to a good music by a good artist and tell that, this 2 minutes of my life really helped me eradicate the 18 hours of depression that I had in my day. Just do it before going to bed. And whatever God you believe in, whatever religion you believe in, just believe that He will help you. Don't ever doubt the power above you. Just believe that, it's destiny. Take failures as just stepping stones to success, because in my terms I put in the effort. That procedure was the hardest thing. That procedure has been tough for me. It's going to be tough for you as well. Just be adaptive, don't be rigid, because it's just like, you have seen the sugarcane thing that crushes or grinds juice. Don't let your that grinder wear out, because if you're too rigid, you're not flexible, you'll definitely suffer in life. You have to be somewhat flexible. And to convince your parents, it's easy. You just know how to emotionally, just get things done, but don't take undue advantage of that. Just tell them what you really need. If you don't want to do it, be clear about it. If you need time, just tell them ki, mom, dad, I need time. Don't force me. You can have a bit of chid, you can have a bit of frustration in terms of that, but really try to be calm, try to meditate. Do, like, keep your screens aside for at least half an hour before going to bed. That's really what helped me a lot. Give your brain time to process things, because so what happens exactly is, in the overall procedure, we don't think about ourselves at the end of the day. As data science engineers or AI engineers or AI enthusiasts, we need to understand that the people who are at a bigger post don't really rely on AI. They have built those systems from scratch. They read multiple books for that. Even today, they just save time by gaining insights. The pros and cons are there. But the real knowledge is reading, meditating, and leading a healthy lifestyle. That's the key, because that's never going to change.
Hmm.
The only thing is going to change that the time period, you can get the insights in a shorter period of time. That's it. Rest is your brain and your gut, because some things or some miracles do happen. Believe in them. They might happen at a later stage. Don't worry if your visa is rejected. You will definitely have another time to, go it. You just have to take a short breather, as I said. Try to figure out things, but you will definitely make it.
Got it.
That's
So,
it.
so thank you for all of that, Tej. I'm sure this is going to be very motivational to the students
Yes.
who are facing a lot of uncertainty with regards to whether they need to study abroad or not.
Okay.
So anyway, viewers, that was it from our side for this episode. If you really like this episode, then do like and comment, and also subscribe to our channel, because that tells us that we need to keep preparing such videos for you in the future. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.